Welcome to the Homeschool Show with NCHE. Our goal is to help you homeschool with confidence and joy. I'm your host, Matthew McDill. With homeschool news today, we're going to talk about a couple important items with the Thrive Homeschool Conference, which is coming up just in a couple of weeks. And then we're going to have Homeschool Conversations, and I'm going to show you another portion of my conversation with Todd Wilson, who is going to be one of the featured speakers at our conference. And then we're going to have Homeschool Helps with Amanda, and she's going to talk about different kinds of options for graduation. Okay, the most important news for the conference this week is that pre-registration ends on Thursday, May the 16th. So if you want to get the last portion of discounted prices and you want to be able to register ahead of time, then you need to do that by Thursday. Otherwise, you can still come to the conference and you can just register there on site. A new offer we have for Thrive attendees this year is discount prices at Kaleideum. Kaleideum is a new innovative and dynamic experiential learning museum that recently opened just a few blocks from the Benton Convention Center. Their mission is to inspire wonder, curiosity, and lifelong learning in all ages through a captivating array of hands-on exhibits, interactive displays, and educational programs that blend science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematical disciplines. And so if you are going to the conference, which once again is May 23rd through 25th in Winston-Salem, then you will be able to get discounted prices during the days of the conference, which means you should come early on Thursday or you can stay over for Sunday. The hours are 9 to 5 Thursday and Friday and 10 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. So your discount will be that adults will be able to get in for free and kids will be able to get in for $8. So you can go to Kaleideum.org to find out more about that museum and make your plans accordingly so you can take advantage of this offer. Okay, in Homeschool Conversations, I want to show you another portion of my fantastic discussion with Todd Wilson, who once again is going to be one of our featured speakers at the Thrive Conference. Todd is founder of Familyman Ministries and the Smiling Homeschooler. His passion and mission are to remind dads and moms of what's most important through weekly emails, podcasts, and seminars. He has books and products that will encourage parents. His podcasts include The Familyman Show and The Smiling Homeschooler. Todd and his wife Debbie homeschool 2 of their 8 children because 6 have graduated and 4 are married. They are in northern Indiana and travel America in their Familyman mobile. So let's check out this next portion of my conversation with Todd. Okay, one more common mistakes homeschool parents make.
Those common mistakes are not really things like super serious things. They're things like where we think we need to make our lessons longer so they learn more. And really, it's the opposite of that. Sometimes our lessons should be shorter, so you can, because you learn more in the shortness. Or maybe it's the thinking of, I need to go really deep, so the kids learn more. And I think what we end up doing was we kind of ruin learning. I know, for example, like one time my wife asked me, she said, hey, could you do biology today or do science today? We don't call it biology. We call it science. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. So she maps out what I'm going to do. And it's in this marine biology book. And it has this book that has like dolphins on it and all these kind of things. And she doesn't give me a lot of leadway. She basically says, go to the page that's marked, read 2 pages, stop. And so I don't go off track, or at least I try not to. And so I open it up and it is on dolphins. And I think, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And then we start reading about the class, kingdom, file, species, genus of these dolphins. And I got to the end and I thought, my kids know nothing about dolphins. who cares about what class, genus, species they are in? I mean, no one cares about that except people who write books that list those things. And I thought what they should have talked about is how dolphins can jump real high and how they can swim real fast and how long they can hold their breath and, how their skin is soft and why is it soft and
how smart they
all
are.
those things, how smart they are. Those are really it feels shallow, but it's not. Sometimes those shallow things lead to deeper things. And if we could do the deeper things first, sometimes we don't care about any of it. And I feel like so much of school is playing school, that we do these things because it's required, or maybe we think it gives us a feeling of being smart, a feeling of like we're really learning. I mean, I remember when I was, we had started this new church, and this kid, he was probably 7, and he stands up, like he's got to do the special talent, and he recites Deuteronomy chapter 6, which is, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, the Lord is," and it goes on, and he does it in Hebrew. So it's like, Shema Israel, and the kid doesn't know what one word of it is, but you should see his parents were beaming, and all the other parents were thinking, my kids are losers because they can't even do anything. And I thought, they might as well have taught him to recite it in Klingon or Elvish because it just doesn't matter. It's just fake. But it gives that feeling, and we think, oh, that really ignites learning, and really it doesn't. And so it's kind of those things that I just want to, but they're common mistakes. And I just want to kind of create this love of learning, as opposed to a hate of learning,
Yeah.
The thing is, it's already kind of ingrained in us already. We already know what is kind of fun when we learn. When we read a book and we will read it and it's fun reading, but then there are questions at the end, and we think, okay, I gotta do the questions. And we ask these stupid questions that everybody knows the answer to, or nobody cares about the answers. And that's the part that is a mistake, because we should just kind of go with our gut and say, we read the story, that was fun, that's enough. And it is enough, And so I hope, again, I hope I just encourage parents to do what they feel like they know is best. Because I remember, Matthew, one time I was at your conference, and my wife said, hey, this guy down the way in the vendor hall, he's the one who's created this curriculum. I'd like to go talk to him about it. And she said, would you go with me? And I said, yeah, I'll go with you. So we go with this. I go with my wife, and we're talking. I don't even remember which curriculum it is, but it may not even be in business. I don't know. But we were talking to him, and my wife said, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about doing this with my 2 kids. And she went on, and he goes, I don't think that's a very good idea. And she goes, well, I'm thinking this. And he goes, I think that's wrong. And they went back and forth like that. And at one point, I almost stopped him, and I said, excuse me, sir, do you know who I am? I'm the parent. I know my kids. You've never even met my kids. My wife is super smart. She knows what she's right. You're wrong. Just back off, And I think I just want to encourage parents that they know what's best for their kids, because you think about your kids all the time. My wife wakes up in the morning, and I would like her just to roll over and snuggle with me. But she can't, because her mind is thinking about what she needs to do for her kids, and how this kid is doing this, and this kid's doing this, and every single mom listening does the very same thing. And so I believe, you know your kids better than anybody else, anybody who would say they're an expert.
Okay, folks can go to familymanweb.com.
You can also go, if you're a mom, you can go to the smilinghomeschooler.com. You can find us on Facebook, because we kind of have like 2 different parts now. When we started, we were just a family man. It was kind of a dad's thing. But we'd always been speaking at homeschool conferences. So I would talk to the moms, and then I'd say, okay, now you can sign up your husband here. So about 5 years ago, we kind of started this other segment called the Smiling Homeschooler, that gave us a lot of clarity And now we can talk to moms and we can say, now you can be a part of this. And we hope that it'll just do that. It's really what it says. We just want moms to smile because,
Great.
we started homeschooling because we thought it would be a lot of fun. And we quickly quit smiling. And then your kids quit smiling and your husband stops smiling, and then nobody's smiling. I just want to bring that back because this thing that we have is so, so good. And like we kind of started this program, it goes so quickly. I mean, these things that you think you're going to be stuck doing for the rest of your life is over before you snap your fingers. And I just want you to enjoy it and cling to it because it's so good.
Yeah, our mission for NCHE is to help parents homeschool with confidence and joy. And so I love how you are going to make a major contribution to the fact that people are afraid and people are miserable, and we want to reverse that. We want there to be confidence and joy in what they're doing.
And can I just give another commercial? I know you did at the beginning, Matthew, and I know sometimes there's a couple different people who are listening, people who have been to the conferences and they love the conferences, and maybe they say, I've heard some of this before. Can I just encourage you to come again, to be there, because not just for yourself, but for even other people who are going to come, because I think we need some homeschool conference evangelists, people who will say, because like my daughter-in-law, she's starting to homeschool. Her friends are all homeschooling, but they're just starting. They don't know anything about a conference. They don't even know why they need to go to a place where people are getting, but once they get there, they all say, this is amazing. So could I encourage you to maybe invite some other moms, invite some other families. Maybe it's your co-op. I would guess that your co-op, there's a large chunk, maybe the majority of the chunk have never even heard of this conference, even though you think, how could they not hear of it? I was talking to a mom who had homeschooled in one state all the way through. She was at this conference. She goes, these are amazing. And I said, oh, are you new to this? She goes, no, I've been homeschooling all the way through. She goes, I never knew they were here. And I'm like, do you live in a cave? How can that be true? But it is true. I think we kind of think, especially our younger moms, that these online communities, these influencer communities, that you can get everything. It's not the same. I just love it. Like I said, I was at my first conference for the year just a couple of weeks ago, and to stand across the table from these moms with tears streaming down their face, sharing their problems. They think they're the only one that's ever shared it. And there was a mom 5 minutes before who was saying the same thing. And then to see them standing next to another mom, and another mom goes, oh man, I've got the same issue. So what do you do? And then they start talking, and I just back away. And that is so wonderful. But you miss all that if you're not there. So I just want to encourage you, as you're listening, to make plans to be there. Invite your husband. Tell him you're going to do this weekend getaway thing, and make it. You're just got to feel refreshed, revitalized, have your batteries recharged, and it's just a good time to be with like-minded people.
Amen. That's a good word. All right. Well, thanks for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you in person very soon.
I'm super excited, so I'll see you all there.
All right, great. See you then. Thanks.
To Homeschool Helps with Amanda. I'm Amanda Wares, Homeschool Helps Director with NCHE. So today we are going to talk about options for graduation. So I know it feels like graduation is never going to happen, and then sometimes it kind of sneaks up on you and you end up scrambling, like, what do we do for graduation? First off, you have options. There's a lot of options. As with most everything to do with homeschooling, what you do for graduation is 100% up to you. So I know of families that have done just a simple ceremony at home. I know of families that have maybe had some family and friends over, and they did a simple little ceremony and just a little party in their backyard. That's certainly an option. It is 100% up to you. There also, if you want more of a formal graduation ceremony, there are some other options for that as well. So, a lot of local groups will do graduations. I know our local homeschool group in my county does a graduation every year. A lot of the local co-ops do graduations, and there's varying requirements to be a part of that. I know in our local group, you have to join the group by a certain time of year. And then the graduating families actually plan the graduation. So it's very customized and personal to them. It's really sweet. So that's an option if that appeals to you. There is also, and one of my favorite, I guess I'm a little biased, but we at NCHE also have a graduation every year. It comes at the end of our Thrive conference, which is coming up in just a few weeks. And at the end of the conference on Saturday, there is a wonderful graduation ceremony. There's actually 2 simultaneous ceremonies going on at the same time. And each one of those has about 100 to 115 graduates in it from all over the state. And it's just really beautiful. It's more what you would think of as kind of a traditional high school graduation. The graduates, cap and gown, the whole thing, they process in, and there's a speaker, and the parents do come up on the stage and give their graduate their diploma. So it is personal. And then pictures are taken. It's just it's a wonderful experience. So I will tell you that sometimes the kids, the students, may not want to be a part of a graduation. They may not have any interest in that. Especially, I think, some of my kids that were always homeschooled, it just wasn't as important to them. And you can do what I did if it appeals to you. I told my kids, this graduation is about you, but it is also about me as the mom. We did this together, and it was really important to me to be a part of a graduation ceremony. So we have always done that. We have done, my 3 olders that have graduated all did the NCHE graduation ceremony. But I have also seen and been a part of a local ceremony as well, and those are wonderful. I've also seen and been a part of a just backyard ceremony, and those are also wonderful. It really is whatever fits you. Just like with all of homeschooling, the same is true with graduation. Whatever fits your family, your student, your experience the best, that's what you should do. So I really hope this helps today.
Thanks again for joining us this week. We'd love to hear from you. You can always email us at thehomeschoolshow@nche.com. Let us know if you have questions or topics you'd like us to discuss. As always, if you would share this show with your friends and family that you think it would be a blessing to, please do that. And you can go to nche.com/thehomeschoolshow to find out other ways to listen to the show and subscribe. Until next week, continue to homeschool with confidence and joy.